Good evening and welcome to Estuary TV News with me, Erica Barker. On tonight's show, triggering memories by bygone sporting events can help ease the plight of dementia sufferers. That's according to the co-founder of Sporting Memories, Tony Jameson Allen, who joins me this evening. But first, here's James Dunn with the news headlines.
Hello, in the headlines today, older people get the chance to reconnect with their memories of sport in a scheme being rolled out across North East Lincolnshire. And do you have a difficult dog? Well, don't worry, there just might be someone who can help. The lowest paid council workers in North East Lincolnshire have got a pay rise yesterday. The council introduced the living wage of £7.65 an hour, which meant 75 employees will have more money in their pocket at the end of the month. It will cost just under £100,000 to implement, which will be found from other savings, including not filling vacant posts. The authority hopes that the stance will encourage other local institutions, such as schools and academies, to do the same. Council leader Chris Shaw said it was one of the very few positive things that they've been able to introduce in the budget, which has been cut dramatically by central government.
The only benefit we've been able to is to find the living wage for the council staff who are on the very lowest of incomes, which is what people would expect us to want to do. But we can do that from within existing budgets in departments, because we're going to take some of the vacant position money to do it. The money's there in the budget to do it. We've managed to secure the money to do it. It's on the very lowest of council staff, the ones that are earning less than £7 an hour.
A scheme to help older people reconnect with memories of sport from many years ago is to be rolled out across North East Lincolnshire. The Sporting Memories Network aims to help older people, particularly those suffering from memory problems, connect with more memorable times by talking about sport. They've helped people at care homes in North East Lincolnshire record those memories and have taken them on visits to places that spark the memories, such as Blundell Park Football Stadium in Grimsby. They have famous support from sports stars including Ross Brawn and Robbie Savage, and now have funding from the Health and Wellbeing Board to roll the programme out across the borough.
It's been really exciting. It was a thrill to run the initial pilot project in Grimsby through the funding of the CCG. And through the work of such as the guys at Cranwell Court and working closely with Grimsby Town Football Club on the Memories game, it's just so exciting now to get the backing from the Health and Wellbeing Board to have the funding to be able to roll this out across the county.
More on that later in this evening's news. The Department of Health has granted local hospitals £84,500 to improve maternity services. The money will be spent on Ward 26 at Scunthorpe, Grimsby's Jasmine, Holly and Blueberry wards and the Home from Home unit at Goole. Julie Dixon, head of midwifery, said it will help enhance privacy, dignity, birthing options and quality of care for local women. North East Lincolnshire Council is celebrating the success of their work pairing scheme. The scheme gives young people aged 16 to 18 the opportunity to gain valuable work experience in local businesses, with the possibility of being employed at the end of the placement. So far, 35 young people have taken part in the scheme, with 31 finding a job or an apprenticeship. The programme pairs young people with the trade they want to work in, providing them a paid work experience. Council leader Chris Shaw explains why the scheme is beneficial for both young people and businesses. Of
course, if every small medium enterprise in North East Lincolnshire took on one young unemployed person, we wouldn't have a problem with unemployed young people. What it is this is to get local business to realise the potential of young people, but also to realise that there's a benefit for them to take on young people to learn for the future, because we're talking about businesses, succession training and survival in years to come. Well, these are young people that can be taken on, learn to trade, and they can work for your company until they retire.
A Winterton man who's become a huge celebrity known as the Dog Listener in Australia is looking for problem pooches to film a series with here in the UK. Tony Knight is the son of local lady Jan Fennell, who wrote the original Dog Listener book, which became a bestseller in 2000. Her son Tony learnt the family trade and has since become a celebrity in Australia with regular TV appearances and his own radio show. But now he intends to return to the region he calls home and make a TV series in Yorkshire and Lincolnshire. His UK promoter, Naj Modak, is looking for difficult dogs to get involved and says there are no lost causes.
It's strange watching him with the dogs at first. You're wondering what he's doing. But he really understands. He really understands what's going on in the dog's head. He knows what the programme to do, and he knows how to get the best out of the dog. I don't think there's a dog that he could not train. He's just really good at it, and you know, I just say to people, just challenge them with your dogs. If you think a dog is untrainable, I think Tony can train it.
If you can help, email a picture and description of the dog to the address on screen. That's all from me. I'll see you next time.
Do you remember the first cup final you went to with your dad? Or maybe a school sports day when you beat your classmates to take first place? Well, if you do, you're not alone. For many of us, these childhood memories of our involvement in sport, whether it's watching or taking part, stay with us for the rest of our lives. And the Sporting Memories Network is now using such experiences to help people with dementia nurture long-term memories. James Dunn went to find out more.
Memory problems are one of the most heartbreaking issues facing Britain's ageing population. They can lead to older people feeling sidelined and isolated. But this charity is using a new method to help people remember who they were.
The activities that are traditionally offered to older people tend to be singing, dancing, bingo, arts and crafts. And they're great, and there's lots of evidence that things like singing for the brain are really effective for people, particularly those living with dementia. But not everyone likes singing and dancing, but most people actually like sport.
As any Grimsby Town fan knows, this is a place where dreams and lifelong memories are made. Sometimes good memories, sometimes nightmares. But for the people who've worked with Sporting Memories, remembering the good times and the bad can be extremely positive. They get the chance to revisit, record and sometimes even relive their experiences as an athlete or spectator. And some of the stories they share are truly incredible.
I knew he was a footballer and I asked him, but he couldn't remember a lot. But we did find that he had his scrapbook in his room. So I went through his scrapbook with him and I found out that he'd actually played for the YMCA, Skegness, Boston and for Sheffield Wednesday. From there I pieced together Alan's story and found out that his name was Twinkle Toes. And we read and reminisced about his story together and it was quite emotional. And from that point, we've taken Alan to Grimsby Town football matches. It's brought a lot of memories back for him.
How they feel when they can't remember a conversation that they had 10 minutes ago with support staff is frustration. They get angry, they get lost, they feel worthless. Why can't I remember? Everybody can remember what you did 2 hours ago. By remembering and reminiscing with the Sporting Memories, you can have a conversation, lucid, and they're in full aware of what you're talking about. That's the difference.
And how does that make them feel?
A person, a whole person, not somebody that's just got Alzheimer's or dementia.
Sporting Memories started in North Yorkshire and Grimsby was the second town it worked in. With endorsements from major sporting stars and professional bodies, it has a bright future. But more importantly, they're keeping alive those fading memories of great sporting moments in years gone by. James Dunn, Estuary TV News.
And I'm joined by the director of the Sporting Memories Network, Tony Jamieson Allen. Hello Tony, how are you?
Hi Erica, I'm good, thank you. Really delighted to be here.
So as we saw in that VT earlier, it's an absolute fantastic charity, a fantastic project. Would you maybe be able to sum up what it is that you do and why it's important?
Yeah, we use images of sport and memorabilia to trigger long-held memories, working with older people, particularly those who are living with dementia and memory problems. To offer community-based activities that unlock long-held memories, unite people to talk about their favourite teams and players, and ultimately to improve their mental well-being and their physical well-being.
And is that it with sport as well? Do everyone have sporting memories of some kind?
I think we do, whether it might be not enjoying PE at school.
That was me.
Not everybody is a huge sports fan,
Yeah.
but we do all have memories of sport, be it watching the World Cup final in '66 on telly, or whether it's watching more recently, Virginia Wade winning Wimbledon in '77. We all have some memories. Others obviously have played sport and have really vivid memories of playing either amateur or professional sport, but also, you know, following your favourite football team or rugby league club. There's just so many memories that are made, and so many that we naturally forget until we get triggers to remind us.
And how do you trigger these memories?
We use a mixture of, we have some incredible powerful images of iconic sportsmen and women, which can often lead to unlocking lots of interesting conversations. A picture of Virginia Wade, for instance, winning Wimbledon, can lead to conversations about strawberries and cream. It can talk about conversations around what was happening in that year, and actually it was the Silver Jubilee, and it actually triggers memories for me of punk rock and listening to The Clash from a picture of Virginia Wade. Not everyone has that particular image around Virginia, but it's actually you know, the images and the conversations actually contain a lot of humour, because there are so many stories around sport that it's a good social activity.
And it must be so rewarding to see these people come on and remember these things and develop. And do they seem happier? Do they seem more comfortable? What is it that actually brings about?
It's an activity. Traditionally, most activities that are offered to older people tend to be you know, singing, bingo, knitting, those kind of things, which are all great and they all have their place. But particularly older men don't necessarily want to be involved in activities like that, and we find that this approach is quite attractive to older men in particular who may have watched or played sport throughout their lives, and it's a natural thing to do. We all reminisce throughout our lives. When we go into work on a Monday morning, we'll talk about what we did at the weekend, and often those conversations for men centre around how the local football team have performed. So we naturally reminisce, and those conversations are really comfortable ones to have. Now, someone who's maybe struggling with the short-term memory, if they get the triggers of images that actually unlock the long-term memories they have, it can lead to really comfortable but enjoyable conversations. And that in turn helps promote their cognitive functioning, it helps to maintain memory, and often it actually leads to people revisiting sports that they once played or watched and actually trying them out again.
Oh, it's incredible, isn't it? And I know quite a few celebrities are supporting it as well, aren't they?
Yeah, the response from sport has just been incredible for what essentially is a small little project working with older fans. We've had the support of Formula One teams, the Professional Football Association are supporting us, and we've got stars and celebrities from TV and music, all of whom are sharing favourite memories to support the project.
And for people watching, what about volunteers? Are you always looking for volunteers to help with this? Or?
We are, and what's really exciting is we ran a small pilot project last year through North East Lincolnshire CCG, commissioned a small pilot just to see how it would work, and we worked with some care homes in the area, and we worked with Grimsby Town Football Club. On the back of that, North East Lincolnshire Health and Wellbeing Board have now commissioned a project to roll this concept out across the county. The groups will take place not only in care homes and hospital wards, but in libraries, in museums, and we hope we can engage some pubs as well, because where is more natural to go and talk sport than down your local pub?
Going to have to leave it there. But thank you for your time, I really appreciate it.
Cheers.
Thank you. Well, I'm afraid that's all we have time for today, but I'll be back at the same time tomorrow. And don't forget, if you have any stories, problems or views that you want to share with us, you can get in touch by phone on Grimsby 315561, on Facebook or Twitter @Estuary TV, or email us on news@estuary.tv. Until next time, goodbye.